What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course, and I am very excited about this because I'm not saying that MVP heard me or that they were listening to a small YouTube content creator, but I did have the resistor video where I said maybe if it was Proton we'd see what we could get. Well, turns out the Eagle McMahon Team Series, the Synergy Series, this is a Proton Resistor. This feels and looks incredible. This stamp is so cool. I'll show you guys the stamp a little bit later so it's not backlit by the sun, but it is very flat. Unlike the other resistor, which almost felt a little lower parting line, this one feels like it's going to be overstable. But unlike the last resistor video, we're not going pyro and PD. We are going to be battling resistor versus Omen. Let's see where this puts us. Omen is the one that's currently in the bag, so we're going to throw Omen first. And I think on this hole, we're going to go flex backhand. Very overstable. And the dump. Probably be in the creek, but it'll be easy to find. Now, does the gyro in this Proton Resistor make it way more overstable, even than the Eclipse? Let's find out. That faded so incredibly hard. Not that it faded very early, but it faded so incredibly hard. When it started to fade out of the sky, fall out of the sky, it dumped. The Omen still, it's a dump, but it's kind of a pushy dump. That resistor dumped. That might be really good and exactly what we're looking for. I'm not saying that the machete is not going to also be in the bag, but I think machete, Omen, resistor, and now I'm understanding if it continues to play like this, forehand and backhand, now I think I understand where Eagle McMahon was coming from and why he loves the resistor. So I think the issue I was running into with and this comes into the overstable mid-range videos with all of those mutant deflector justice. I was looking for justice, but I was looking for pyro distance more overstable, but all of the mid-ranges were going more overstable, so they weren't getting the same distance. So that's where I think like a 6.5 or a 7-speed Firebird slot is absolutely perfect because it kind of bridges the gap between your true 9 or 10 speed Firebird slot or your overstable mid-ranges. That being said, the Omen was closer to the basket than the resistor. So Omen with point number 1, we're throwing a forehand here. We're going 290 to the short basket. About perfectly placed. Now, if this was a neutron resistor, I would have to hyzer flip it to get it there. Can I throw this with my normal pyro style throw and get a more of a dumpy fade out of it? Oh, I overturned that, but it is coming out. And that's pyro, but slightly more overstable. It feels different, so I'm gonna have to get over the feeling of it feeling different than my pyro. But I think this might be exactly what I was looking for. We are gonna test out the turbulence as well. It's just still too humid for neutron. So we're gonna continue out this video, but I think I'm almost 100% positive that a Proton Resistor is going to make its way into my bag. We're going back to the backhand for this throw, even though I don't really use this slot very much for a backhand. but I do want to know what it's going to do because I'm really considering bagging this right now. So backhand, we're going to go flat to hyzer. Omen still has the box. Basket is pushed back into the long. It's 335. Push it out across the street. See if we can't get a road flare skip. Oh, that's too low. This might be the resistor's time for the point, but just because that shot was so bad doesn't mean that this one can just be lazy. Yeah. And the dump. Look at that. Okay, that park is short. So flat to hyzer, I'm going to get right around 300 and not much more unless I'm going to gas it up really hard. I can push it further on a backhand flex. Now let's go see on a forehand. I didn't really get to see it truly flat on the last hole. And since I'm mostly going to be throwing this slot forehand, well, let's go rip out a couple of forehands and see what we can do. So, resistor with his first point, because it actually had a good throw, just wrong basket placement. This hole, 255. So realistically not far enough to actually need one of these, but I am going to try out the touch flex here for just a second. Yeah, that is controllable, extremely controllable. Because when I'm throwing softer and still want the Firebird shot, the Omen's a little bit hard because it's like an 8.5 or 9 speed size rim. So it is on the bigger end of fairway. This is on the smaller end of fairway, which means it feels more mid-rangey, which means it comes out easier on a softer shot than a faster rim would. So for the soft control shots, when it just might be a little bit too windy for a pyro, or I need something that's gonna hook a little bit more, or I just need something different, I think the Proton Resistor is kind of too good to not bag. About the same distance, but this one's actually uphill, 245. Resistor has the box, and they are tied up right now at 2-2. I think we're gonna go throw. We're gonna go up, and we're either gonna throw a forehand or a backhand, depending on how the tee pad looks up on the next hole. But the resistor is going into the bag, and if it wins the battle, we'll take the Omen out for the time being so that I can try to learn the resistor a little bit more. But I am loving the way this resistor is coming out right now. And then just dump. Here's the tree. Easy to find. And I don't think that the Omen is more or less overstable than the resistor. I think they're very comparable stabilities. However, they are different speeds. So a 6.5 speed, even though it's the most overstable 6.5 speed I've probably ever thrown, it's still a 6.5 speed, so it's easier to overpower it and get it to turn and get that flex shot than something like a 9 speed or a 10 speed or even a distance driver. So it is good in that regard. I think what most people need a Firebird for, they probably need a 0.2, but if they want to actually bag like a 0.3.5 or a 0.4, try a resistor. Especially this run. This run's really good. So we are going to go forehand here, and we're going to go distance chop flex. This hit the tree. This faded in front of the tree, so resistor wins the point, wins the box. It's going to win this video, so for the time being, the Omen's going to be coming out of the bag. Not that it's going anywhere. I love this as that Firebird slot more than any other disc I've tried so far. So until this gets flippy, it'll be this or Captain's Raptor. I might try to throw in, if I can find This is Ethos, so whatever the mint disc's Proton is. If I can try to find a Phoenix in that plastic, that would be amazing too. This disc is absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to have to go back to another round today and take some discs to trade in because I need to get a backup because this is too good. There's no way I don't think I can get there. Because it's a 6.5 speed, there is the ability and there is the possibility of over torquing it. It's a 6.5 speed, so it can't do that angle into a wind very well. Let's see what the Omen does on that angle, because this one should fight out a good bit more, not because it's more overstable, but because it's faster. See what I mean? So I think for the time being, my overstable lineup is going to look like Pyro for mid-ranges, Resistor for fairway drivers, and then Machete for that kind of in-between fairway driver, distance driver lineup. And then we could throw the Force in there as well as my most overstable distance driver. Probably going to be sticking a 9-speed in the back into the bag, but for the time being, the Resistor won this video. The Resistor is going to win out today. It's amazing. Hopefully you guys are sticking around for more of this. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. And if you want to be automatically entered into monthly giveaways, check out the memberships as well. Until next time, see you out on the course.